and welcome to the Dream Catchers Show, brought to you by Vatan Se, where we'll capture inspiring stories, one dream at a time. I'm your host, Shalima Motial. Associate sponsor, Singh Advisor, Satvik Certification Singapore. Fashion partners, Kosha Sarees. Media partners, Crazy Talk. And today with us, we have a very gorgeous woman who we'll be interviewing. She's a computer science graduate from NUS and she's done gemology from GIA. She is the founder of eClarity Diamonds. Now, who doesn't love diamonds, right? They say diamonds are a girl's best friend. So let's talk to Amanda Koo. Welcome to the show, Amanda.
Thank you so much for the invitation, Shalima. It's my honor to be here today.
We are thrilled to have you here. eClarity Diamonds.
That's right.
You always knew what you wanted to do?
Not really. I always wanted to empower the world. I want to make a difference. So after graduating from NUS, I worked for M1 and Citibank, but I was selling many things along the way. I was importing Manuka honey from Australia. I was selling to companies. I was also selling nail stickers from Japan. And then diamonds come into mind because of a few observations. Back then, diamond prices were really high.
They still are, right?
It's actually a lot more competitive these days. But back then, there was no online options very much. People were just walking into chain store and making decision.
Right.
So that's the first observation that I had. The second observation was there was no customization as well. So, you know, things like wedding bands, almost everyone wears about that 10 designs, variety of 10 designs. Customization just meant copying a brand back then. So I saw the gap and I was very passionate to do something that would empower a revolution in this industry. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. And so in following your passion, you've had that unwavering determination and, go to it kind of an attitude. Diamond is not an easy business to get into, right? I mean, there's a lot of money that you need to invest and you're into lab-grown diamonds, am I right?
We, of course, did not start with lab-grown.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
When we started, it was all natural, right? For the first 16 years, we were only selling natural diamonds. With regards to determination to carry on, when I first started, I think every day I wanted to stop.
Oh my God.
Because it was just so hard. I had to work 7 days, 24 hours. My phone was the customer service phone. When I was, I raised 3 kids along the way. When I was giving birth, I was answering to my customers.
Wow.
And I remember the nurses say, ma'am, you're giving birth. Can you please put your phone away? I say, can I please just reply to this last one? And, people were talking about 1 month of confinement, 2 months of confinement. I had 5 to 7 days after giving birth. I went back to the office. So it was very hard, but there was lots of passion, responsibility. The second point that I caught from your introduction was a lot of money to start.
Yes.
I used my own savings. And remember, it was 80,000 that I had from working for MNCs, teaching tuition. I was very frugal. I managed to have 80,000, but the renovation was 80,000.
Of the store that you started?
Of the store at Shaw Center when we started. So what happened was, very interesting. The boss of the renovation company said, it's okay, you don't have to pay the last payment. So that was about 10 or 15%.
Wow.
That he said, he saw a young woman trying to start her business. And there were some fine little details that were never going to be perfect. So he just let me off with the 10-15%.
That's so kind.
Which I used the 10-15% to buy my first batch of samples. Right? Like the first batch of rings and the diamonds. That was how I started.
And then how did you go about marketing that? Because one thing is you start a business, the other thing is to reach out to the right target audience.
That is such a good question. So when I started, there was no customers. And we were at Shaw Center. For those who are as old as me, who has walked past Shaw Centre 19 years ago, there's this very quiet side of Shaw Centre, and we did not have any shoppers. And there was no social media.
Right,
there was no Facebook, no Instagram, no Carousel, no Shopee, Lazada.
Right.
So what I did was I sent a mass emails to my ex-colleagues in M1 and Citibank, and I said, you know, I'm giving promotion. I just started my diamond shop. So they came.
Okay.
Very supportive.
Right.
And they brought along their friends. And one kind lady, and I always remember her name. Her name is Jubilee. She bought a wedding band for me. She went on forum and said, you guys must try Amanda. So, you know, and then it just go multiplying and multiplying. When all this was happening, I was doing wholesale business. I designed jewelry pieces and I faxed to the bigger companies, and I invite them to place orders, and then I craft it for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so what were the roadblocks or the setbacks in your initial years when you started out?
There were, so of course, at the very initial stage, there was no customers. And then when the customers started to come in, I wasn't very familiar with the profit margin. Okay. So we were really busy because people were really supportive. Because I was pregnant with my first baby then, and then my first child was born, and I brought my baby to the office right after 7-day-old.
Oh my God.
And people were like, oh, you know, Amanda, we must support you. They were really coming to support this startup who is a young mom with a young baby. But I was not good in
the profit margin.
Managing the profit margin. So we were very busy, but the profit was very slim. That was probably in the first few years. And then when UOB finally wrote to us and said, can we work with you?
Oh, wow.
And that was when we say, sure, you know, and then we gave whatever discount that we could to all UOB card holders.
Beautiful.
We became really busy, and then the second problem was HR problem. People were coming in to see Amanda. They trusted Amanda, the mom with the baby, and there comes the second baby and the third baby, and I brought all of them to my office.
You have 3 boys, right?
I have 3 boys.
Wow.
And but they only want to deal with me directly. So we had to reject some customers because there is limited capacity when I am the sole person who could attend to the needs. So that was another problem. Of course, thereafter we have changing trends. We have, just production. We have marketing also changing. From word of mouth, we changed to forum marketing, to social media. And then you have your live streaming, and then the online, offline integration. So the world is changing.
Totally.
We absolutely like the challenges. It's just that we have to always keep ourselves very relevant by understanding both the market and the trend of the products.
Right.
Yes.
So when did that switch come about wherein the clients were coming in and were okay with other people, dealing with them and showing them the products?
I would say that even until today, we have a very interesting structure at eClarity. It's just in different intensity, but Amanda is always known to be the gemologist. Okay. And I would sometimes go out and say hi to the clients.
Right.
We have about 5 to 7 salespeople in our team. They would then carry on with the details. Right. So what I do now is I conduct webinar once a month, and I invite all customers who just want to know a little bit more detail about technicality. And every Saturday between 12 to 3, I'll be on site.
Okay.
And I will still see them.
Right.
Yes.
So now tell me, what is the difference between eClarity Diamonds and any other store that people can go to?
Firstly, we really specialize in customization.
Okay.
And by customization, we mean very meaningful personal pieces. Like I have customers who say that I know my girlfriend from a guitar class. Can you please put guitar strings on the wedding bands?
Oh, wow.
This is my sound wave saying I love you. Can you please emboss it on the wedding bands?
Wow.
I would like to bring my girlfriend to the world. And can you please engrave the whole world map onto the ring? So we really customize special pieces, and this require very high knowledge in terms of technicality, gemology. So that is the first thing, and that leads to the second point where we have gemologists on site. We have gemologists Zoom webinar. So you know that your jewelry pieces are very carefully attended to. Your enquiries are very carefully and professionally answered.
Lovely. So how long was your gemology course that you did?
I did a 1-year postgraduate. The gemology course that I did was by GIA. So it was really a very holistic one that covered diamonds, gemstone, metals, and even communication, ethics, and the fact that we are selling love more than selling rings. So it was a very holistic program, and even 19 years later, I think I'm still very equipped with knowledge. But of course, I'm learning from customers.
They come up with newer requirements.
They come up with different things. Like we were one of the first to go into lab-grown diamonds, also because I sensed that the requirement was a little bit changing in 2018, 2019. Attending exhibition worldwide and talk to the trade people, that's first-hand information.
Beautiful.
Well.
Now let's educate our audiences there. The difference between natural diamonds and lab-grown diamonds.
I have a very simple one-liner to describe the difference between diamonds and lab-grown diamonds. It is babies and IVF babies.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, that's nice.
For example, I always have people asking, Amanda, can you tell the difference between diamond and lab-grown diamond? I would ask them, can you tell the difference between baby and IVF baby?
Okay.
So
the next question then would be, is there any price difference then?
Definitely. So before I even go into that, natural diamonds and lab-grown diamonds, they have the same optical, physical, and chemical properties.
Okay.
So we are not comparing with lab-grown stones. We are comparing with lab-grown diamonds. So they are the same thing. So they have GIA or IGI certificate.
Okay.
And they are also graded under the same system.
Okay.
The 4 C's, the color, the clarity, the cut, the carat. Right. Now, back to the question about prices. That's such a good question. And I have a customer who joked that between babies and IVF babies, IVF babies are more expensive.
That's true, actually.
But between diamonds and lab-grown diamonds are a lot more affordable.
More affordable.
Yes. The price has, in the past few years, it has been fluctuating. Until today, I think we have reached quite a stable point, right? That it is at about 1/4 of natural diamond price.
1/4?
1/4.
So I read a very interesting thing about eClarity, that you're into rental of diamonds as well.
Yes.
Which is such a novel and niche idea. So how does that happen and how do you go about it?
There were so many reasons that motivated us to come up with this idea. The first reason is I observed that the young people, they have very refreshing mindset. So they are very into sharing economy, and reduce excess capacity.
Right.
So I have children myself, and I have this very interesting incident that I often share with people. You know, when we share ice cream at McDonald's, I would ask my children, could you please get me another spoon? My children would say, no, we have to save the world. Let's not waste the spoon. And then I go like, how do we share ice cream with one spoon, you know? So then I realized that the young people are different. Their mindset is different. And I ask myself, in what ways can I empower sustainability in the industry that I'm most familiar with?
Right.
So then I look at the thousands of pieces of jewelry that we have in store, and they are the design prototype.
Okay.
Right? And we understand that we probably wouldn't rent an engagement ring or wedding bands.
Sure.
But for the necklace that we wear for events, for that earrings that we wear for the special occasion, that should match our dress, for example, those are the pieces that we wouldn't mind renting. Right? So we did a count of our design pieces. We noticed that there were about 50 pieces.
Right.
Price range was above 100,000.
Wow.
All the way to $1 million.
Okay.
So we have this, you know, you could call them excess capacity that we could rent it out.
Right. So it's like a monthly subscription model for like a year, or how does it work?
We have two different plans. One is subscription.
Okay.
So if you're someone who likes jewelry, what you could do is subscribe to us, and every month you just get a new piece of jewelry.
So one piece every month.
Yes. You can get to swap one time if you like to.
Okay.
That's the subscription service.
Right.
For the other one, you just rent by occasion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it could be 6 times a year or whatever.
Anytime.
2 times.
It can be one time a year. So
Right.
that's not under subscription.
And that's a one-time fee then.
One-time fee.
And how do you then take care of it's being taken care of, nobody's swapping it with, you know, like the safety aspect of it?
We are very careful with that. So what we did was, when we started, is only by invitation.
Right.
Okay. And then we moved on to working with companies or membership organization where they have already have the member details and filter, and we just collaborate with them.
Interesting. So would you know at the top of your head how many subscribers you have for a model like this?
We have 77 subscribers.
Right now?
Yeah.
And then do you limit that, or we will not lend out anything that's above, say, 100,000 or 500,000?
In fact, the pieces that are most popular are between 100,000 to $1 million.
Because people can't afford to buy.
Correct. Yes, that's right. Yeah. So we are renting those pieces out.
And you see this as like a profitable venture, and you're not worried, what if they don't return on time or a piece goes missing or anything like that?
We have covered them by insurance a little bit.
Right.
And the people who are renting the pieces, they have options to also buy insurance, right? So we have those covered, and we always share in details how they could protect themselves as well, and how we would protect ourselves.
Wonderful. How did the name eClarity come about?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. So when I started, I was looking at the color, the clarity, the cut, and the carat day in, day out. So I was thinking what would be a name that is most relevant to the industry. So I picked Clarity.
Right.
Because I do think that among the 4 C's, clarity is most interesting. Clarity means the study of inclusions, which are the natural elements that are microscopic and is included in a diamond during formation.
Right.
So I just find it really fascinating. And I thought the word clarity would be most suitable. And I put a word E there because I was a computer science grad. And my dream was really to sell diamonds online. So I put a word E to just symbolize that we want to bring it online so that we can sell worldwide and not just within Singapore and the region.
Right. So is that part of your expansion plan, or is it already happening that you're selling it online?
Right from the first day, we were selling it online already.
Okay.
So we have customers from all over the world buying from us. Other than Singapore, our biggest market will be in Malaysia,
Right.
Hong Kong, Australia.
Oh, lovely. Any stores that you're thinking of opening, like physical stores?
For 19 years, my belief is that we will not go into the physical store because I really believe in that online establishment that would cut the cost to the lowest and transfer the benefits to our customers, where we will be really competitive in pricing. And I believe that any communication can be done online, right? But I also believe in setting up headquarters now. So we are looking into having a master franchisee in Malaysia, for example. So we are exploring that in 2024.
Oh, lovely. And best wishes for that.
Thank
and
you so
congratulations
much.
ahead of time.
Thank you so much.
One question that comes to my mind is, diamond is a high ticket price item, right? So do you have people buying it online that easy, or do you get a lot of queries back and forth before they actually make the purchase?
I think when I first started, Singaporeans were not ready to buy online.
Right.
So I remember those days when we have no Instagram, no Facebook, I posted the diamonds on eBay. The most popular question was, can I see it?
Right.
The second question is it real? So there were a lot of uncertainties and doubts during those days, but people have matured into online diamonds very much, especially during COVID time,
Right.
when there were no options for people to see it physically. So people are a lot more comfortable now. Secondly, I think our brand has also grown to be more credible over time. And so people know that we're selling the right thing, the good things. So yes, they are ready.
Beautiful. So what message would you like to give to our viewers watching through the show? How to catch your dreams, how to go through the obstacles that came in your way? Any message that you'd like to give?
The first thing that came to my mind is always start with the end in mind, right? Know what you want to achieve and then focus on working towards the end.
Right.
The second thing that I like to share is also firing some ships. For people who like to catch their dreams, I have observed that people sometimes has too many options, too many options to fall back.
Right.
So I am also the membership chair of entrepreneurial organizations for 2 years, and I've observed many entrepreneurs who are successful, they have no other options.
Beautiful.
So either they were in debt or probably they have something to prove, and so they have nothing to fall back. I've also seen some entrepreneurs who are CFO of a company, graduate of Harvard and all, but they were not successful in building business and catching dream because at any point of time, when they face challenges, they fall back.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
So fire some ships so that you can never fall back and you only have one end to reach.
And that's your success mantra.
I
right?
think I wouldn't say I'm successful yet. I have a lot more to improve, a lot more to do. But so far, yes, I think that has brought me to where I am today.
Beautiful. What are you passionate about other than diamonds?
Oh, being a mother of 3, I'm very passionate about raising children.
Right.
I always say that my children are my life purpose.
Beautiful.
Right. I'm also very passionate about psychology, well-being. I'm a counselor myself. I did a master in counseling. We are developing an app. And it is now in progress, and we will probably launch it sometime in May.
Right.
The app name is not finalized, but it's something like Ask for Prayers. So you could, something like Instagram, but instead of us going up to show off and going to, and just present the best side of ourselves, the app target to let you ask for a prayer.
Beautiful.
So whether you are troubled, whether you have something to celebrate, something to be thankful about, you can post and we will pray for you. So people
Wow.
will just go in and just pray for you.
So that's coming from the counseling side of you.
Yes.
That's lovely.
Yes.
And it's going to be a free app, I assume then?
Yes, it's going to be free.
Oh, that's
Stay
beautiful.
tuned.
Yes, absolutely.
And I will let you know when.
No, wish you all the best for that as well. That's lovely. Now, on a lighter note, I have some rapid fire questions for you. I already know the answers to so many after this conversation. Do you believe in dreams or being real?
I believe in both. Right? Because you can't have dream and not be real. You can't be real and not have dreams. You have to have both.
Okay.
But start with the end in mind.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Okay. And what is your favorite country to visit?
I just came back from Italy.
Okay.
I was overwhelmed by the infrastructure, and when I came back, I have this quote that keep coming to my mind. It is this: the most expensive things in life are free. The second best things are very expensive. Because when I was in Italy, it was sometime in late October. I was walking by the beach and it was raining. It was a fantastic feeling, but it's free. Looking at the infrastructure that was built in the 14th century, imagining the war, the horses, the soldiers in those narrow paths, those are free. And those are the best things in life. Wow. The second best things in life are things that I can sell to you.
Lovely. Yeah. What's your favorite cuisine?
Japanese, Indians.
Okay, what do you like in Indian?
Oh, I love the buttermilk chicken, and I love naan with garlic.
Great.
Oh, that's
so next time you're craving that, you should go to Vatan Se.
Okay.
They have yummy butter chicken and fresh naans to serve you, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe in the power of manifestation?
I do.
You do?
I do. Something that we have to very mindfully remind ourselves, because sometimes we tend to fall into automatic negative thoughts. So we have to always correct myself, and I correct my children too.
Right, right. And your favorite quote, other than the one you just shared?
So those few quotes that I share with you, those were my favorite. But in terms of business, I also like to share that there's red ocean and blue ocean. The fact that we move from natural diamonds to lab-grown diamonds to jewelry rental to setting up franchise, I like to display the fact that we would never give up, and we are always swimming from the red ocean to blue ocean.
Beautiful.
Where it has a wider opportunities, and think of something that no one has thought about before.
Right.
Be the first person to ground break in whatever industry that you are in.
Right. So create a niche, the novel idea that you came up with, rentals, and then lab-grown diamonds, and just keep reinventing yourself, right?
Yes.
What message would you like to give out to all the women entrepreneurs, especially out there sitting and thinking, okay, what should I do with my life?
You see, the motivation that I had all these years is that I want to be a good mother.
Okay.
To be a good mother, I need to have very flexible time. I need to be very hands-on. I can outsource diaper changing.
Right.
But now that my children are in the 19, 17, and 14, it's very important that we are by their side to tell them about dreams, to set ambition, to talk about selecting friends. And these are things that you can never outsource.
Absolutely.
And time just passes really quickly. And in order to be a good mother, I have to have my own business that is scalable.
Right.
So to the female entrepreneurs, if you have a dream, if you want to be a good mother, and you know that you can contribute to the world, by contributing something that the market does not have. So don't go into entrepreneurship just to earn money and to have free time, because you will not have either. You will not have free time and you will not have money. But the only way to do it is to think about what can you contribute to the world that there is a gap.
Right.
Right? If you have that in mind, then go do it.
Right.
Because it will be very rewarding.
Lovely. So now, how is your work-life balance? You went in with a 7-day-old baby
Yes,
to work.
yes.
Now things are different, I'm sure.
I joke that if I were to give birth again, I probably also would spend only 7 days at home. But no, I'm not into work-life balance. I'm into work-life integration.
Okay.
So all my children work at eClarity during their holidays.
Oh, that's lovely. And do they get paid to do that?
Of course they do.
Okay.
Of course they do. So my eldest son, he works more towards the marketing side. My second son works at the production department. My youngest one helps with the sales department.
Okay.
So they come in every holiday, and that's how we integrate my life with them together. And I remember my youngest son, when he was about 7 years old, he came to me, we finished our food and he said, "Mommy, do we still have money for another packet of fries?" We do. But because he's just so aware of the profit and loss that, you know, he is very mindful of the fact that money is hard earned.
Right.
And I believe in that. Integrate them into the business. Integrate business into family.
Right.
My son, when he was in primary school, he brought my name cards and he distributed to the friends and the teachers. So I really love that, right? And I would carry on to integrate my work life together.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you so much for coming, Amanda.
No
it was such a
problem.
pleasure having a conversation with you. And for all of you out there, you want to go buy diamonds or you want to rent diamonds, you know where to go. eClarity and Amanda Koo, we had lovely conversation. Please subscribe to Dreamcatcher's YouTube channel if you already haven't, and follow us on all our social media channels as well. Leave us in the comment section what you liked about it. Thank you. Signing off. Thanks so much again for coming, Amanda.
Thank you so much.
You mentioned you like Indian food, right? So we were talking about butter chicken and naan. But today I have marinated kebabs at home from Vatan Se, which we can air fry and serve you. Are you up for that?
Let's go.
Rent diamonds? It doesn't give you sleepless nights, I'm sure.
It doesn't give me sleepless night.
That's good to
At least
hear.
not anymore.